Welcome to the Fearless Happiness Podcast, where we showcase phenomenal individuals who have overcome serious traumas, life obstacles, and challenges to find their own path to fearless happiness. Listen as Max Njist invites guests from all around the world to share their experiences and spread strength, hope, and faith. This is the Fearless Happiness Podcast, and this is Max Njist.
All right, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this world. This is Max from the Fearless Happiness Podcast. And today I have another amazing and special guest joining me all the way from the East Coast, but by way of Italy. But what I like to do, Jacopo, I can't say it. Anyway, my friend is going to introduce himself, who he is, what it is he does, and then him and I are going to have fun. So take it away.
Yeah, really, first of all, thank you to invite me. And second of all, already the name of the podcast is something resonate in my life. Something, so beautiful, the name you utilize for the podcast, and nothing really everything in my life is a process of growth. First of all, research, grow, action, and contribution, the fourth pillar of my life. And everything starting from where I coming from. I coming from my beautiful city where I love my people. I love my Italy, and all my family is over there in Napoli, where I started to be a creative, really young boy. Where I 11 years old, I already read a lot of book of entrepreneur people. They make success in their life. Plus, I have this energy to create something. My first creation is coming from sport. I becoming a professional sport because I try to becoming so in the soccer field, like where I want to becoming professional soccer. And for 14 years old until 17, I leave my city Napoli to go around in a play professional. And after big injury change completely the direction of my life. And now I understand how I am fortunate to that problem change my life. And I becoming 18 years old, an entrepreneur from zero. I slept on the second floor of the shop where I create this jewelry first, and after I create a chain of jewelry with more than 20 shop, make this company multimillionaire, another company, to a big company, and in Italy this, and I 22 years old starting the real estate in Italy with one book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Everything changed from over there. And from over there, around 2010, 2011, my business in Italy started to lose revenue in the jewelry space, and in real estate freezing completely. Now, I already create enough wealth to live comfortable, means, to try to enjoy the piece of life and create something more. But, I read one article where another big change in my life, one article where everything talking about the opportunity, United States, in particular in Florida, related to the subprime mortgage, means property discounted for 50-60%. And after I read this article, I think so, after, I don't remember precisely, but I think so 1 month and a half, I jumped to the other part of the world, don't speak English, don't have any connection, any kind of relationship, nothing. From over there, a lot of crying, a lot of difficulty, a lot of sadness. If the first 2-3 years I go back to Italy, to America, to Italy, because my business continued to running over there with my father and my team I have. And that's it. I starting from over there, do more than 355 flipping, create my portfolio of cash flow, in love with real estate, in love to create, because every day for me is a beautiful day. And I started to create my beautiful day with one clear method I assembled. I call MPB, meditation, morning prayer, biohacking, and exercise.
Well, I think those are all important things to do: meditation, prayer, and exercise, right? And thank you for sharing that with us, right? Because, right, from from being a professional athlete, right? Like you call it in Europe and stuff, right? Like, because my family comes from like Australia, Europe, so everything is football. You're soccer, so we understand, right? Right. I know a lot of athletes when they get injured, it's such a big deal, and to see you come back from that and not let it stop you from becoming who you want to be, right? Because I'm sure you've known in your days as a professional athletes where like a friend gets injured and that's it for him, and then they give up and then they don't try to do anything else, right? I'm sure you have seen it. I've seen it, like, not even from a professional level, when someone is up and coming and they get injured, and then sports is not an option anymore because of the injury, right? There's either two ways, like, you could go like you did. You said, that's not going to stop me. I'm going to become my best version of myself despite the injury and not being able to play professional sports. Or the extreme other way, where you hear of people like getting into drugs and alcohol, depression, right? Just totally hitting bottom. And that's kind of like why I created this podcast, is for gentlemen like yourself to show the world, right, that just because you run into some obstacles and challenges, you don't give up. Like, you pivot and you said, okay, I'm going to do something else, right? And I'm still going to live the life I want to live. But in that journey, Jacopo, I'm sure you had those moments where you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't play my favorite sport. I love, like you said, soccer. What am I going to do? Did you have those moments where you were like almost gave up and said, I'm just going to, I don't even know what I want to do. I'm just going to give up. Like, I can't even figure it out.
Yeah, and it's a process of, I think, so our life, your life, my life, and other people that are listening to this podcast. What's happening in our life, we have doubt, confusion, and the only way to, go through this emotion, confusion, doubt, I realize is four big important pillar I utilize now, like human being, like investor, and serial entrepreneur. First of all, when I have confusion, I research, because research clarify your mind. Second of all, I grow what I research, means I started to grow my knowledge in the field where I want to be. Third, I do action, practical action where I want to go. And after, contribution. Now, why I tell this? Because at that time, I feel my world completely collapsed completely. And it's not only one time I received this blessing from God, or from the divine, whatever you want to call in my life. Why? Because from this moment, I build, the man, the entrepreneur, the a grateful son I am right now. And this is so important, because what's happening, I have a friend too, you tell something really important. They are they try to becoming professional, and one in particular stuck in my mind, because when I go back to Napoli, I have the no pleasure to see him in this new version, and he becoming drug addict, use drug, and he becoming like homeless in the street, and really sad, because you know how is life. And for this reason, life is a choose where you decide what you want to do, and whatever intention you put in your mind, you will go through. But I need to give to something important to somebody really important in my life. I have two people, they help me, they support me in the majority of step of my life. One is my father, my unique hero, and the second one is my mother. When I have this injury, my mother really give me some word where I anchor my identity to this word. In which way? She told me, "Don't worry, you will succeed wherever happening in your life." And from over there, I restarting to rebuild all my mindset, my life, and everything. And because I'm curious human being from my nature, I started to study. I started realizing that the only way to create really Abundance is when you becoming a creator. How you becoming a creator? When you create something, and real estate, becoming serial entrepreneur, real estate is some way, some vehicle to do this, you know?
Right. Becoming a, well, my, from being around gentlemen like yourself who are serial entrepreneurs, right? That's almost like becoming a professional athlete, right? The competition is so great, right? And you're going to fail. And what I've learned from guys like you is that you didn't let any of those challenges or obstacles stop you, right? You learn. What I hear you saying is that you learned from them. And thank God you had the support from mom and dad, right? Who probably told you, okay, you're not going to be a pro football player, right? Or soccer player. You need to figure out what you're going to do because, like your mom said, you will be successful at whatever you choose. I mean, moms are great, right? When you're at your worst, no better person to go to than mom, right? Because they will lift you up and say, son, look, I love you. You're going to be great. You just got to keep going, right? And then dads are the ones that go, I love you, son, but I'm going to kick you in the butt. I don't want to see you crying or, um, doing anything like that because you got to, right, as we learn as entrepreneurs, right, it's like with anything in life, right, when you fail, that's actually a learning lesson to help you grow, correct? I mean, and it sounds like you've used those lessons to.
Correct 100%. Something, but I wanna be honest, intellectually honest with people they listening this audience is this one, you know. Don't lose the shirt when you make your mistake. This is important. Why? What this means, this one is this one. You know, sometime, you possible make a big mistake, and I make more than one, like a entrepreneur. One I purchased at 24 years old, one in one big center commercial, one shop where I lose $1 million. And at 24 years old is not really something easy to do. And because I create so much value, I have the possibility to recoup this money, create more and everything. What I share is this one. Try every time to do something where if something goes wrong, and this is a conservative mindset, but a lot of time working for people they don't wanna becoming a multi-billionaire or trillionaire. What this means, because trillionaire is not anymore, but people, because this give you a caution where if something go wrong, you have the possibility to step up another time. Because the reality I learn from my business mind is this one. I have a friend, they are two friends, they are two billionaire, and I have people, they are multimillionaire. Something I learned. The billionaire mindset, not in every case, is people they completely think about outside of the box. Completely, it means like they looks almost crazy, in some way, almost crazy. In some way, yeah. Other people they are super strategic, super, really like military. But in these two cases I have, they completely think about outside the box, and the outside box is the best way to create something. But at the same time, if your inner self is to have protection, because it's happening in all a lot of the majority of people, when you do something, try to don't lose all your possibility to rebuild something, because when you lose everything, I know you create already a mindset where you will rebuild, but it's better to have something to rebuild. I don't know if I explain correctly.
No, it makes sense. What you're saying is don't lose everything,
Mhm.
but you're gonna, right, keep something so that you can rebuild it and go back at it, basically.
Now, what I do, because I am a serial entrepreneur and I think about outside of the box, I do something really unique. I forgot about something I have, and this is the best way. What this means, I try every time to save put outside of all the game something where I feel I don't have, but by subconscious have, because when you are entrepreneur, when you are creator, when you think about outside the box, sometimes you go all in, you know?
Right. Well, and it's excuse me, it's true. Like Napoleon Hill and all those prior to all of us, right? They always say what you think about comes about, right?
Mm.
So whether it's a positive and you're building something, right? And if you're putting out that positive energy, you and I believe God's going to give it back to us. But in return, if we keep doing negative, the universe or the divine or God is going to go, well, if that's what you want, I'm going to give it to you until you, right, learn to think a little bit different, right? And a lot of it is mindset and training yourself even through the struggles to have that winner's mindset, right? Like you have. And right, because being a serial entrepreneur like yourself, I mean, I know you've gone through so many things. I'm sure we could spend hours here today, you know, talking about the stuff you've gone through. But, you know, I also want to talk about like in the beginning, like if like you're a real estate guy and you have your jewelry thing home, like what would your for an upcoming entrepreneur, right, who it was where you started, right, like say a former athlete who has no idea what they're going to do but they know they don't want to quit, they're going to do something. How do you help someone get into that mindset that they can keep going? Because you and I know I've been there where it's just like I want to give up. I just want to be that ostrich, like the proverbial put my head in the ground when everything's go by. I can pull my head out and then everything will be good again. But we know that's not true, right?
Mhm. Yeah, I think so. Like the for somebody wanna becoming entrepreneur, becoming investor, whatever is the case, the most important part to understand you know, when you uh, play a some game, you need to understand the rules of the game. The rules of the game is the most important part in every kind of business. And the rules of game to be an entrepreneur is possible fail. Is a process where you learn something, where you moving forward from something happening in your life to the next one. Now, I think so really important when you starting something in business is do the correct analysis and research to what you do. The big mistake entrepreneur make or people in business in general make is because they have this vision where everything they think about they will realize, and some cases okay, some cases no okay. Now how is the way when you start in something to reduce the possibility to lose? And this is I learned from the mistake. First of all, research, try to modeling other people they do the same one, the same kind of activity you want to join. Try to understand if it's something new or something saturate. It means don't put yourself in some, because time is the most important part when you timing correctly the market. And this I am really not good, but I try to understand where is going the business, or where is going the market, or whatever is so important. I think so the really important part in moving to somebody wanna start to do something, and it's coming from different experience or whatever. First of all, try to be to research correctly everything you wanna do. Second of all, modeling and ask question every time. For me, ask question is becoming my completely remind idea. How perfect, now this guy have this business located in this area, in this space, or whatever, he make money, I ask another one. And the third part really important, do action, every day to moving the process in the next level, starting with small and moving. And when you feel sad, when you feel, frustrated, because happening too in my life now, in the morning, I wake up with some kind of frustration, working with yourself first of all, and after you will see how everything change,
I love it because yeah, you're going to get frustrated but like I think this key is what you said is ask lots of questions, right? Find the people, right? Like being an entrepreneur, you can't ask anybody who's starting with you, right? Because they're at the same level. You got to ask the people I think that are 3, 4, 5 years ahead that, like you said, are very successful and have already gone through the trenches so they can kind of guide you, like not do it for you, but go, this is what's going to happen. So you need to prepare. And this is what I did. Right. And with any venture, right? Whether it's real estate, whether it's what you started at home in Italy, with your jewelry, or even sports, right? Like we know that if you don't practice, you're not going to go very far. If you just think your talent alone is going to get you to the next level, I mean, I'm sure you've seen how many guys have done that and they think because they're that good. But, the guy who maybe not be as good, but practices every day and right. Because I believe one thing that my jujitsu instructor always taught me was he goes, hard work beats talent every time. And he's shown me guys like where they started, and I'm like, no way. And he goes, yeah, because they worked their butt off. They're like world champion now. You wouldn't believe it back when they started, but it's like with anything, even with this podcast, right? Like I keep trying to better my interview skills and get the guests like yourself so that I can continue, right? Because truthfully, right, when you were getting ready, and I've said this with a lot of my guests lately, because it's getting better and better every time, and I'm like, oh my god, right? I get the butterflies, and then the imposter syndrome, like, oh my god, I'm not. What am I going to ask him? I don't know. This guy's way ahead of me, and right, like, what excuse can I tell? Can we reschedule this? Because I'm so nervous, I don't know what to do, and then I tell myself, calm down, Max, just have fun with it, right? Keep pushing forward. And that's like you were saying to any of us, right? Is keep pushing forward, right? Ask the questions and just the research, I think, is key. And I love what you said about that's like the first thing is research, right? Figure out what you're getting into, research it so that you have some understanding, right? Because you're still gonna maybe make mistakes along the way, but if you research it, it's not going to hit you like a tidal wave with right. And then Jacopo's going to say, I told you to research it. I'll be like, I didn't do that. And you say, I told you. But let's talk about your book too behind you. I see, right? Healthy, Rich, and Happy. What
Yeah.
led you to writing your book, and talk about your book, what's in the book and what it's about?
Yeah, the book is like 3 word. Really, everybody they want this 3 word, and I think so. Everything started from the first one, healthy, because healthy is the most important part. And I realized because you know near me in the last 5 years, I have a lot of lost. Near my person, and I realized too physically because when I have some problem from my health or something small, like stop me to do what I love, exercise, I feel another human being. And this 3 word, healthy, rich, and happy, is really the word everybody we want. Now, the problem is this one. If you don't have clear intention in this 3 word, you will never achieve nothing like this. And I working every day to if I now I have more possibility, I am more comfortable, I possible have more thing respect when I starting my life, but I work every day, to create these 3 words, because this 3 word is not something you will achieve and you have in your hand. No, it's not like this. You need to work every day, every day, every day, every day. Because what I believe now is the creation coming from inside and after go external. For this reason, how I share with you the big moment in our life where we are drowned, where we are down, or where we are on the floor is the moment where we have the power inside us to moving forward. And the book really coming from this kind of moment where I assemblate, I create one method called MPBE, where is the base where every day I build my foundation to working on my goal, and my goal and my vehicle is real estate and business in general. And the book is really creating two separate parts, where one is working to the internal part, and the second one, because I am pragmatic investor sensible, is create to something to give to somebody, read something actionable, like something where the day after you have something to search and working on. And I share this information with a lot of grateful part, because this book is endorsement from three really knowledgeable people, two in real estate. One is my best friend, is a billionaire in Europe. I'm so happy, because if somebody put the name, it means somebody believe in the message, and I know the message inside the book is something important.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm going to ask you just point blank, right? How does someone connect, like, say myself, like new to entrepreneurship, right? I'm at that phase where I keep not falling on my face, but I'm learning those hard lessons, right? And doing what you said, setting the intention every day. I keep working at it. I won't quit on myself. But how does someone go about connecting with someone like yourself for mentorship or, advice, right? Because a lot of people think that, because they're a multimillionaire or billionaire or whatever, that they're not available, which I've heard is untrue, because you just have to ask. And a lot of them are willing to help if you're willing to do the work and listen and learn the lessons they're trying to teach you, correct?
Yeah, like the point is this one. I believe in something where I utilize every day. I call pre-activation. The pre-activation is a process where you give, first of all, to ask. And it's easy in life. Uh, the most important question, I think so, is this one. How I connect with somebody. And first, before I ask, I give, I add the value to the other person. This is the most important question. Means when you add the value to somebody else, because people, they have a lot of money or they have a lot of experience, they evaluate the time in the correct way. The time is everything for people. They have money because they already have money, and they have the second value is time. Or for me personally, time is the first one. Means personally, and this is my secret, when I connect with somebody, I try every time to give. And depend where the person is in the field. Is in the field of real estate, and I have like the possibility to bring the person some kind of value, where I bring some deal, or where I bring some good connection to him, or I bring something more. This one open automatically the relationship. And second of all, be honest, be transparent is the most important, because people feel if you are true or not. And when people they understand you have second intention, they will not help you, not because they don't want to help you, because you are not clear in the front. Quindi how I redefine everything, first of all, be who you are, honest and clear, and second of all, add the value to the person to understand which kind of possibility you have to connect with the person, and create together something more, not only for me, but for both.
Right. And I think it's important that something you said that, and you've said it a couple of times, I think is very important for us to understand is give, right? Like yourself and most of the greats that I read about, right? The ones that are really, really successful, they gave first. They
Mhm.
almost gave till it hurt. And then they were blessed with, right? And for instance, I have this mastermind group, men's group that I belong to, right? And you know who Ty Lopez is?
Yeah.
right? So they did this. They had a call with him, right? And of course, it's supposed to be just a 10-minute, right? Pick his brain real quick. But they were asking such good questions that he ended up staying on the Zoom with them and talking to them. And so one of the guys said, one thing that Ty Lopez said, that if he would have learned at the beginning, he said, if I would have poured into people earlier, my success would have came earlier and I would have done a lot better instead of having, right? And what he meant by that, he says, when I started helping people and expecting nothing in return, like things blew up for him and he wished he would have did it earlier. And that's what I hear you saying, right? Like most of the people, for instance, like business almost parallels my recovery, right? I've been in recovery as a recovering addict and alcoholic for almost 22 years. And there's a saying that goes in the rooms, right? In order to keep it, you have to give it away.
Mm-hmm.
It means that I have to help the next person coming in, show them how I stayed sober so that they can do the same thing and then pass it along, right? And it's almost the same in business life, right? Like there's got to be a part of you that has to give, right, in order to receive that abundance, right? And go ahead. I know you want to say so. Go for it.
No, I am completely agree with you. What this means is this one. The main point of everything in our life is to try to be, uh, the best version of you and be and try to give. Because if you read the big book of the world, and wherever you believe, if you are Catholic, Christian, Jewish, or whatever, or Muslim, inside this kind of book or Hindu, you will see one of the really important part is give and after ask. Give and after ask. What this means, when you are in the connection to give, you will open some kind of energy with the other person in the way where you don't possibly imagine. The big problem is this one. A lot of people, they give with clear intention to take, and this is a big problem. And I realize on myself too, when I starting my career like a young entrepreneur, I try to give with no completely honestly to the other person, honestly, intellectually, honestly. And other people, they feel it, they understand what you want, and they are not open to you. But when you are somebody give with true love, because we want love in reality, this is what we want in our life, is no other thing we want. Everything becoming easily, everything is open like a Pandora, like everything is open to you, and you are right, you achieve what you want.
Right. And I think that's, you got to be not only give, but you got to open to receive too. You know what I mean? And you're right. Like all of us have to check ourselves when we're giving. Are we truly giving? Or is there something that I want to get out of this? Right. And you're right. Like we're human. I've been guilty of it going, yeah, I'll do that. But in the back, when I realize, I'm like, oh, because I want this from them, and you're right. When you can give with a truly open heart and good intention, so much will be given to you, right? Like to me, this podcast is one of those things that the universe has given me, right? Because when I started this, like I did it in passing with my coach and mentor, right? And thinking just to like get him off my back, right? Yeah, I'm gonna start one. And then he would ask me, and we'll get into that later. But um he was such a giver, you know what I mean? Like he gave of his time and energy. And I learned a lot from that. And I think that's why I think not only have I been successful in doing this podcast and learning how to be an entrepreneur, I'm getting better every day, but in life, right, as a human being, is because I have guys like him and I get to talk to you and right and talk about entrepreneurship and just life in general and where you've come from. And, this is, like I said, this has been so far an amazing podcast. So thank you so much for the value you're bringing to my audience. But I'm going to start asking you some of the questions that I love to ask, right? And we'll start with the name of my podcast. We'll start with fearless. What does fearless mean to you? And how does that show up in your life on a daily basis?
Wow. I believe fear is something we have inside us, and we need working every day. How you go through this world is so important. And for me, how I go through this world is something I really generate every day, because every day when I wake up, not every day, Sunday yes, Sunday not, whatever, I feel something over here in my chest. I feel probably insecurity, I feel fear, I feel other kind of emotion. And the important part, again, every day after this emotion is somewhere in my body. When I feel it over here. And I know specifically because I ask my question to myself and I realize where they are located. I use technique to bring down this emotion and go in the opposite emotion, because emotion is creation of our mind, our body, how is moving, and you create every day. The important part, a lot of human beings they missing, they think about smile or success or money is a consequence of something arrived from something on from one day to the next. It's not like this. It's a process where somebody put the status of the mind and the body in the way where to if have this word fear, he moving forward, and I realize and I find for me, and I know possible help a lot of people, this method mpbe will give really freedom, because the routine in our life is the most important part and the less important. What it means, the most important, why? Because when you don't have routine, you feel confusion. The less important, if the routine is not working for you, change the routine, and this method is my powerful routine, and with this I go through all the negative emotion.
I love that. It's MPBE.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. And before you go, you're gonna have to explain that one more time what those are, so the audience can understand it better. But we're gonna move on to happiness, right? As you can see, I put a Y in happiness. I did that for a reason. So, what does happiness look like for you, Jacopo? And how does that show up in your life on a daily basis?
Yeah, happiness for me, I realize is so important. And I ask four questions every day. For what I am grateful, for what I am passionate, for which kind of joy, which kind of action or situation give me joy, which kind of situation or action give me serenity. And when I ask every day this, I have clear now what is happiness in complex for me. Happiness means for me decide what I want, and when I want, what I want to do, and give to the people I love. And during my journey of my day, feel the emotion, feel the nature around me, feel the wind on my face when I close the eyes, feel the sunset, feel the beautiful thing, because we are in too much in the way where we want to go fast to create something. We want to moving far, fast to do something. In reality, if we don't have the happiness during the journey, we don't have nothing. For me, happiness means have during my journey this feeling where you feel, wow, I love to have this wind to take my coffee in the morning, plus have the abundance internal and external to decide when I want what I want to do.
I love that, right? Because you said it, I think, and very clearly, right? Like happiness is a choice, right? And we get to do that, right? And it's not necessarily the things like for instance, like all the money in the world. We know people that are the most unhappy, but they have you right. But like it sounds like you were saying, trust the process, and it's like the same thing with recovery. I always tell new guys, I said, just trust the process. No matter how low you feel, just keep going, right? Because when you get to like through a certain struggle and you look back and you go, I did it, right? There's nothing that makes me more happy than I go, wow, one, I did it. Two, I didn't give up on myself and I didn't quit, right? And that's why, if you figured it out, everybody, why I put the happiness in there, right? Because it comes from us, right? Nothing except, I say this all the time, Jacopo, is like the only thing that outside of me that brings me joy and happiness is my grandkids, because they're so cute. I love my granddaughters and my grandsons, right? They just bring a lot of joy. But this has been, like I said, a wonderful, wonderful time. I've learned so much from you, and I'm sure the audience has gained so much value from you being here. One, I appreciate it. But what I want to ask now is, if my audience wants to get a hold of you, get your book, to reach out, ask you questions about being an entrepreneur and doing real estate or whatever the case may be, like just your MPB, right? How do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, like, the way, first of all, I ask to help me in the process of share 18,000 book during the first year of the release of this book. Now, why? Because I believe in contribution, and this book coming from contribution, coming from my heart, coming from what I receive, and the value of the book inside have really big economic value, and not only. And what is important is this: all the money I receive from this book, I donate, I give to one association over here in Miami, where they help homeless to have another time dignity. And I already working with this association, where I provide some my property, sometimes some clothing, other kind of stuff like food, because I believe in contribution. This is the main reason why people, they need to buy the book, to contribute to other people. And second of all, they possible find me in my Instagram account, Jacopo Iasiello Investor Broker, and through the website healthyrichandhappy.com. I every time respond to people, whatever question they have. I have somebody take care about all this process, but after I review everything, when I have somebody to ask me the question, I will love to share which is my idea.
I love it. I love it. This has been an amazing time, my friend. Thank you so much for joining me and being here with me. You heard him, everybody. You can get the book. Is it on Amazon?
It's on Amazon, correct? Yes, I sorry to not specify. It's Amazon. Is a bestseller and is a really powerful message inside, because create abundance, internal, external, through the vehicle of real estate business, is really powerful.
I love it. Right. And I will be getting my books for sure. But again, thank you for being here, Jacopo. I've learned so much. You're an amazing human being. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. And, but you're not quite done yet. Right. I get to ask you my favorite question of all my guests, and it goes like this. So, Jacopo, what is the one piece of advice you could give my audience to help them grow as human beings and become better people?
Ask question to yourself, and realize which kind of emotion you go through your day. When you started to ask the correct question to yourself, in particular, I will love to reshare with your audience. First of all, ask every day in the morning for what you are grateful. Second of all, for what you are passionate. Third of all, for what give you joy. And the fourth one, what give you serenity, because this is the four area where we are around every time with our mind. And when you started to feel some kind of emotion, realize it's only a small amount the time you have this emotion. If you go through it, you moving forward on this emotion, everything will pass. Remember, one bad day is happening in our life, but if you continue to think about the bad day becoming the second one, the third one, and like this. For this reason, break the path immediately when you have something in your body and your mind, and do some action, movement, go out, read some kind of book, breathe, because from breathing everything is coming, and you will feel better, because the same emotion you have is the same emotion I have. And the best one, they realize something special and unique in life, is people, they know that this moment is only small amount of time, and they go through and they're moving forward for what they want.
I love it. You heard that, everybody. Yeah, you heard it. You heard it straight from his mouth, right? So again, thank you for being here. I've had a wonderful time. I'm sure the audience gained so much value from you being here. I know I did. So thank you for being here, Jacopo. It's been a wonderful time. But you heard him, everybody. If Jacopo made you think, if he taught you something, if he made you smile, and my famous, if he made you go, I like that, please go to iTunes and leave a 5-star review so more people could find the podcast. And again, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this world. This is Max from the Fearless Happiness Podcast. Until next time.
Are you tired of being weighed down by life's traumas and struggles? Join the Fearless Happiness lifestyle and let us guide you toward a brighter future. Explore our past podcast episodes and get a copy of the Fearless Happiness book to ignite your inner strength. If you or someone you love is battling addiction or facing challenges related to unresolved trauma, know that we are here for you. Visit maxnijst.org, maxnijst.org, and take the first steps toward finding your fearless happiness. Thank you for listening. This has been a production of Fearless Happiness.